How's it going, guys? It is Counterpoint MTG here, bringing you another video. And now, in this video, we're going to talk about our two decks that we call the orig.
Oh yeah.
These are some of the first. This is the first deck that I ever made, and these are the decks.
We're using two-headed giants.
We're using two-headed giants. So we're gonna go back and forth. Talk about one card from my deck. Talk about one card from Colby's deck, and we can talk about how it can work in each other's decks. Colby's just quickly trying to sort some of his cards, but yeah. So they aren't really ordered in any way. So should we just go?
Go for it.
All right. So the first card in my deck is Ghost Form. It's 2, and it's up to 2 target creatures are unblockable this turn, which can be pretty good if you can get. We'll put a picture up.
Okay.
It's pretty good if you can get a bigger creature and just make them unblockable, because that can be pretty devastating.
Pretty devastating. So I run, not 1, not 2, but 3 Fire Hellhounds.
What?
Just because you're getting a 2/2 for 3, but you can boost them up really, really fast. So I run those 3, and they're really good for starting off the match and actually having some pretty big creatures with you. Yeah.
The next card I have is Righteous Authority. It's 5 cost. Need a sweater.
Yeah.
Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 for each card in its controller's hand, and at the beginning of the draw step, enchanted creature's controller, that player draws an additional card. So that card can actually keep your cards getting pretty high boosted up if you can keep your hands full.
Okay, so I run 2 Chandra's Phoenixes. There are 3. They have Flying and Haste for a 2/2. They're a really good card. They're from M12. I usually use this in an early game to get some good hits because they're flying and they have haste. So not a lot of blocking creatures have it. But yeah. Okay.
Then I have Timely Reinforcements. It's 3, and this card I really like because if you have less life than an opponent, you gain 6 life, and if you control fewer creatures than an opponent, put 3/1/1 White Soldier creature tokens onto the battlefield.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's good if you're in a pinch.
Definitely.
No doubt.
Here's a later card I play in the game, but it's Runescarred Demon. Now he's a 7 for 6. He has flying, and I can search a card for a card in my library when he comes onto the field. He's won a lot of games for us.
Next up, I have Gallows Warden. It's a 3/3 for 5. Other spirit creatures you control get +0/+1. It's pretty good. It's kind of a high mana cost, but if you're running it in a deck that has a lot of spirits, it can be pretty good.
Okay, so I run a Black Cat. I actually won my first tournament with this.
It's the best story ever.
He world fired me, and I got a red and a black mana, and that kind of killed him. But
just kind of.
But he's a zombie cat. He's a 2 for 1. It's expensive, but it's kind of like a sentimental thing
and he's just so darn lovable.
He's just awesome. He's really cute. But yeah, he's also a milling card.
How you like me now? Sanctuary Cat. We run counteractive cats. Sanctuary Cat is only 1 mana cost, and it's a 1/2 and doesn't have any effects. But yeah, keep it in there for
good old times, baby.
Good old times.
Yeah. I play Keeper of the Dead. She's an old card, but she's a 2 for 1/2, but she has an effect. If I tap a black mana, I can destroy target non-black creature. But I can only play this if the person has at least 2 fewer creature cards in his or her graveyard. But that's still like a Doomblade, basically.
Yeah, basically. If you can play it early. Next, one of my favorites. Angel Flight of Alabaster.
I'll talk about this one.
Colby always calls her my girlfriend. Oh no.
Wow.
You can't drop cards, man.
Sorry, swamps are just flying out.
But, yeah, I got her in my first intro pack that I got, which was Innistrad, white and blue. And, so, she's a 4/4 for 5.
With alternative artwork.
With alternative artwork. And shiny. Flying, at the beginning of your upkeep, I can return a target spirit card from my graveyard to your hand. Which, again, if you're playing her in a deck that runs a lot of spirits, she's pretty good.
Okay, I run 2 giant scorpions because they have death touch, and Owen has fallen to these so many times.
Those things are brutal.
But yeah, so it's a 3 for 1/3 with death touch, so that's pretty sweet. I use this one usually for a blocker against the bigger creatures, but sometimes I attack with him. He's kind of useless to attack with because they're not going to let him through because they'll kill his creatures and he'll does 1 damage.
Yeah. I run 2 Divine Favors. These are one of my favorite cards. I love these cards. They're a 2 mana cost. It's an enchant creature, and when it enters the battlefield, you gain 3 life. If you couldn't tell, a lot of cards coming up will show you that this deck is based around life gaining and protection. That will come later.
When did you get that?
You'll see. So
I didn't even know he had that card.
And enchanted creature also gets +1/+3. So yeah, it's a pretty good card for a very good mana cost.
1 second.
No doubt.
I play 2 Dark Relevance. They're a 4 for 2 flying.
Those cards. Oh my gosh.
But when they die, they just go straight back into my hand. Your turn, Owen.
Oh boy.
Shut up.
I play 2 Angel's Mercy. For 4, you gain 7 life. It's always good. Yeah. Over to you.
Okay, sir.
Punk.
Well, I run good old Doomblades. I'm trying to see how many I run in here. I think I have 4.
Whole playset.
I have 4 Doomblades. Now, these come in handy when you got your smaller creatures and you want to do some damage because you can just get rid of the baggage. You know what I mean? But yeah, they're great. They're great cards. They're 2 mana and you get to destroy a non-black creature. There's not much to say about them, but they're really good cards.
Okay. Might as well do it. My Planeswalker of the deck. I actually just got this card, and I haven't played with it yet. So, we should check it out. It's Venser the Sojourner.
Where'd you get him from?
I traded him.
For who?
My Jace. My extra Jace.
Really? You got him for an extra Jace?
Yeah.
Yes,
+2. Exile. First of all, sorry, he costs 5. His +2 is exile target permanent. Exile target permanent you own. Return it to the battlefield under your control at the beginning of your next end step. That's just to boost him up so that you can use his -1, which make all creatures unblockable this turn, which is a really nice -1 effect. And the +2 also is so that you can boost up for his big -8 effect, which is that you get an emblem with whenever you cast a spell, exile a target permanent.
Oh, yeah? Well, next on the list of cards for me is my sword.
Oh, Soren Markov. That guy.
His +2 is you deal 2 damage and you gain 2 life. His -3 is your life total becomes 10, and his -7 is I control your next turn.
Yeah, that can hurt. Because he can just waste instants.
Yeah.
I saw the face of the devil in his deck. Next, I have the patient. You're the devil. I have Cathedral Membrane, which is a defender, and it has Phyrexian mana, so you can either pay with 1 white mana or pay with 2 life. When Cathedral Membrane is put into the graveyard from the battlefield during combat, it deals 6 damage to each creature it blocked that combat phase.
Bad combat phase.
So that's pretty cool if I'm going up against
Beasts.
some of Colby's bigger creatures.